So, welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with my reaction to the 2023 Emmy nominations. We just got all the noms out today and got to get into that. Gave my predictions a few weeks back, and for the most part, I would say it was not anything too surprising. Definitely some interesting things to note. But before we go into that, I think the most noteworthy thing about the 2023 Emmy nominations is that the Emmys probably aren't going to happen on September 18th due to the writer's strike. It sounds like if SAG strikes as well, if the actors strike as well, it's an absolute definite that this would get pushed. For what we understand, the Television Academy wants the Emmys to happen in November instead, if possible, whereas the network Fox wants them in January, which would be kind of interesting, kind of in sync with the Globes and Oscars season in general. That'd be kind of interesting, honestly. But I think more to come on that. But we have the noms out, and we'll just get into those. Unsurprisingly, the leader this year, once again, HBO, 127 nominations. Second place, no surprise, once again, Netflix, 103. And then rounding it out, you have Apple with 46, Hulu with 42, Amazon with 42, and Disney with 40. In terms of the most nominated shows, HBO dominating. Actually, 58% of their 127 nominations was their top three shows, these three juggernauts. Succession with 27, The Last of Us with 24, and The White Lotus with 23. Comedy was led by Ted Lasso at 21, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel with 14. Limited series, you had Beef and Dahmer with 13. With that, HBO having a big year once again, but getting Succession, The Last of Us, House of the Dragon, and The White Lotus all nominated in Best Drama Series. No network has ever had 4 series nominated for Best Drama in the same year since NBC back in 1992. Definitely a big flex on the part of HBO to just have hit after hit, both in terms of popular appeal and critical adulation. I've talked about all those shows, of course. Talked about most of these shows on the show. HBO had a banner, last Emmy year. That's obvious, But yeah, let's just kind of get into everything overall. So we'll start with drama. Start with the big dog here. So drama nominated, we have Succession, White Lotus, Last of Us, House of the Dragon for HBO, Better Call Saul, the second half of season 6, the final season, AMC, The Crown on Netflix, and Yellow Jackets on Showtime, and Andor on Disney+. Very happy to see House of the Dragon and Andor get in there. I wasn't sure exactly if House of the Dragon was going to kind of get left behind overall. Love that, and especially love the Andor love here. Yellow Jacket Season 2 is probably like the least inspiring one here, just because that's a show that had a fall off in Season 2 in terms of kind of everyone's opinion on the series. That meant no Yellowstone, no Mandalorian, no Boys, no Rings of Power. Amazon's definitely disappointed about that. No 1923. My pick here would have been Industry on HBO, but of course, with all the big blockbusters from HBO, they can't also have their smaller critical hits get in there too. So overall, can't really be too critical of that. Best Drama Actress, we have Sarah Snook with Succession, Melanie Linsky or The Yellow Jackets, Bella Ramsey, Last of Us, Elizabeth Moss for The Handmaid's Tale, and Kerry Russell for The Diplomat. I think kind of the boring one in there is Elizabeth Moss. Everyone's kind of off the Handmaid's Tale, wave at this point, not nominated for series this time around. Emma D'Arcy with House of the Dragon was here. Imelda Staunton for The Crown was here. I think that's kind of a weird pick, although I forgot, of course, the one big surprise in this category, which is Sharon Hogan for Bad Sisters on Apple. Did not see that one coming. But yeah, overall, pretty solid. Drama Actor, Jeremy Strong, Succession, Kieran Culkin, Brian Cox, Succession, Bob Odenkirk, Saul, Pedro Pascal, Last of Us, and Jeff Bridges, The Old Man. Pretty solid, pretty chalk. I would have loved to see Diego Luna get in here for Andor, or even Anthony Starr for The Boys, but pretty good. Drama Supporting Actor, you have Matthew McFadyen, Nicholas Braun, Alan Ruck, and Alexander Skarsgård for Succession. Really nice to see Alan Ruck get in there because it was the best Connor Roy season. Love that. F. Murray Abraham, Michael Imperioli, Theo James, Will Sharp rounded out for The White Lotus. So this was just dominated. This is just Succession, White Lotus, this category. You know, one of the big things going into the Emmys, which I talked about when I did my nomination predictions, is that the way they changed voting, where it was a set amount of nominees versus previously it was a vote for as many people as you think are deserving type prompt, this would get more shows nominated and prevent big cast dominations. But alas, we still got that with HBO, fucking running shit up with all their significant actors with White Lotus and Succession. I don't know. I guess it is what it is. But I would have liked a little bit of diversity in the category, especially F. Murray Abraham under some fire for his personal antics lately. Don't know if we necessarily need that one there. Um, Will Sharp on White Lotus as well probably doesn't stack up to me with like Theo James or Imperioli. Matt Smith, House of the Dragons, right there. But I mean, overall, pretty solid. Happy for Skarsgård as well with Succession. Just a great performance. Okay, that's drama. And you know what? Why don't we just get into guest actor for drama as well? Just because it's just so goddamn loaded this year. You have F. Murray Abraham and Nick Offerman for The Last of Us, that one episode, so spectacular. And then you have Lamar Johnson and Kevin Woodard as well for The Last of Us from a different episode. I did not expect that. I did not see that one coming. Just kind of speaks to the strength of The Last of Us in this category here. You also have James Cromwell and Arian Moayed with Succession. I guess my one disappointment here with The Last of Us getting 4 guest actor nominations, the other 2 going to Succession. I would have loved like Andy Serkis to get one of these for Andor. I love him as a Kilo, I believe is the name. Kino. So good. Again, you would like to see the wealth spread at least a little bit, especially with a category like as small as guest actor. Then guest actress, you have for drama, you have Hewart Abbas and Cherry Jones from Succession, Harriet Walter from Succession, and then Melanie Linsky, Anna Torv, and Storm Reed for Last of Us. Literally the same exact thing. Guest actor, guest actress, just dominated by 2 shows. Can't really quibble with any of those picks, but I would like a little bit more diversity in the shows represented. Alas, that's drama. Going into comedy series, we have Ted Lasso, Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Season 1, not Season 2, which just came out, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Only Murders in the Building, Barry, Wednesday, and the surprise would be Jury Duty on Amazon Freevee. Pretty solid, pretty good. The one big snub to me is What We Do in the Shadows, not getting in after getting in before. And also, I guess, a bit of a surprise, Poker Face on Peacock, not getting through. A bit disappointing. Also, the Atlanta final season, Atlanta Season 4 did not make it in. Reservation Dogs Season 2 did not make it in. Shrinking as well for Apple. Could have definitely been in the mix here, did not get through. But that's the comedy series. Now going to the comedy actress, I think this one's pretty chalk. Keita Brunson, Abbott, Rachel Brosnahan, Maisel, Jenna Ortega, Wednesday, and Natasha Lyonne, Poker Face. At least Poker Face gets recognized by the central performance from Natasha. That's something. That's great. The 5th one, though, is Christina Applegate, Dead to Me, which is, I think, pretty solid. I think like the last pick here was kind of thin. Elle Fanning for The Great, Selena Gomez, Only Murders. I don't know. Christina Applegate, fine pick. Comedy actor, love this category. You have Jeremy Allen White for The Bear, Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso, Bill Hader for Barry. Those last 2, of course, have won this before. Martin Short for Only Murders, Jason Segel for Shrinking. That means Steve Martin did not get nominated alongside Short this time around. Donald Glover not in for Atlanta, and none of What We Do in the Shadows cast able to break through this time. Overall, pretty solid, pretty stacked, and that is going to Jeremy Allen White. We know that. And I'll be doing my full predictions. Once the Emmys are actually happening, we have that date, I'll do them around then. Comedy supporting actress, we have Janelle James and Cheryl Lee Ralph from Abbott, Juno Temple and Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso, Alex Borstein for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Jessica Williams from Shrinking, probably the big surprise here, and then Ivy DeBerry, of course, for The Bear, which means Sarah Goldberg did not get through with Barry. Overall, pretty chalk, though. Comedy supporting actor, Tyler James Williams for Abbott, Henry Winkler and Anthony Carrigan for Barry, Ebamos Baccarat for The Bear. Really happy that he's in there too. I was worried that maybe he would not make it in alongside his co-stars. Then Brett Goldstein and Phil Dunster for Lasso. Phil Dunster plays Jamie Tart. In the past, Ted Lasso got like a ton of nominations, right? No Brendan Hunt this time around, no Nick Mohammed this time around, but still gets 2 nominations. No Harrison Ford for Shrinking, no Tony Shalhoub for Maisel, but overall, pretty good once again. Yeah, that's comedy. And then limited series, which if you watched my predictions, you knew that I said this was a bit of a crapshoot. I think overall it's a thinner year for limited series than it usually is in the our peak TV times that we've come accustomed to. So this was ripe for a lot of surprise, and I think we got it overall. Limited series nomination for series, you have Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, Beef, both Netflix, Daisy Jones and the Six for Amazon, Fleischman in Trouble for FX and Hulu, and the big surprise here, Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus. If you had told me before Obi-Wan came out that, a year later Obi-Wan would have gotten a limited series nomination, I would have been through the roof, through the moon, to the moon, through the roof. I was so excited. Now, if you then followed it up with Obi-Wan got nominated and you actually wish it didn't happen, I would have been shocked. I found plenty of things to like about Obi-Wan, but it's not a show that's good enough to get limited series nomination. That's a bit perplexing to me, especially because it didn't get recognized anywhere else. That means that I think probably the favorite for that spot was Blackbird on Apple, which did not get a series nomination. Other stuff in the mix that didn't get through here: George and Tammy, The English on Amazon, Mrs. Davis, Swarm on Prime. Yeah, kind of, but overall, like none of those are like true heavy hitters. I mean, people like Monster. I love Beef. That's my pick for all these categories here, but it's definitely a thinner limited series year. Limited actress, we have Jessica Chastain for George and Tammy, Riley Keough for Daisy Jones and the Six, Dominique Fishback for Swarm. Really happy to see that. She was definitely the most celebrated aspect of Swarm. Catherine Hahn for Tiny Beautiful Things on Hulu. That was a surprise to me for sure. Lizzie Kaplan for Fleischman in Trouble. And then my pick, of course, Ali Wong for Beef. That means no Emily Blunt for The English, no Elizabeth Olsen for Love and Death, no Rachel Weisz for Dead Ringers. But overall, that's actually a pretty great crop of actresses. Limited actor, we have Evan Peters for Monster, Taron Egerton for Blackbird, Stephen Yeun for Beef, my pick, Michael Shannon for George and Tammy, Daniel Radcliffe for Weird, the Al Yankovic story, the Roku Weird Al series, or a limited movie. And then the surprise, I guess, here would be Kumail Nanjiani on Hulu for Welcome to Chippendales. Did not see that one coming. That one's a surprise. Meaning no Jesse Eisenberg for Fleischman, probably the biggest surprise here. Limited supporting actress, we have Niecy Nash for Monster, Claire Danes for Fleischman, Maria Bello for Beef, and who am I forgetting here? Camilla Morone for Daisy Jones and the Six. I think that one's a bit of a surprise. Juliette Lewis for Welcome to Chippendales. Pretty good one. And then also Merritt Weaver for Tiny Beautiful Things. So I think some surprises there for sure. I would have loved to see Ashley Park get through for Beef over Maria Bello personally. Last didn't happen. Olivia Colman did not get through for Great Expectations. Thought that might have been in the mix. Don't really know who the favorite is with that category, to be honest. I guess Claire Danes. I'm not really sure. Limited supporting actor, you have Paul Walter Hauser for Blackbird, Richard Jenkins for Monster, Ray Liotta for Blackbird, and a posthumous nomination. Nice to see. And then I think the last ones, again, are a bit of a surprise. Marie Bartlett for Welcome to Chippendales, Jesse Plemons for Love and Death, and then actually really happy about these. You have Joseph Lee and Young Mazzino for Beef, both of them getting through. That's Ali Wong's husband, the actor played him, and then Stephen Yeun's brother, the actor played him. Really nice to see both those get through. Donald Gleason doesn't get in for The Patient, but overall, I don't know. I think that category was really all over the place, so I can't complain. But yeah, that's limited. So I think overall, kind of like how it's been the last few years, the Emmys are largely more or less doing a good job with nominating. I think our one quibble remains that we'd like the heavy hitters to probably get less total nominations so that other shows can get some and just get in that mix just for that recognition. That's kind of the ongoing nod here. I mean, the Emmys, of course, struggle to like have like a relevance, I think, in terms of people paying attention to them because the TV calendar is non-traditional. At this point, the Emmys coming out in September, right before the fall television season starts. That used to make sense when we were in a broadcast and cable TV world, and we still obviously are, but with streaming shows coming out whenever they want to, and really most of the shows coming out into the spring to make the Emmy cutoff deadline, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world to have the Emmys come out in January and almost kind of kickstart our award season. I mean, the Golden Globes and the zombie version that they are becoming with the Hollywood Foreign Press no longer at the helm. We could just kill the Golden Globes and have and because they recognize television too, we could just kill the Golden Globes and have the Emmys kick it off. Of course, that's one less movie night, but I don't know, maybe killing the Globes is the SAG Awards gain. I don't know. But I think for the benefit of the Emmys, maybe being closer to the rest of awards season could be a benefit. I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for that to be the outcome just to see how it goes. I think happening in November isn't that big a difference from September, but we'll see. Definitely sounds like it's getting delayed off of September 18th with the current date. So we'll see. Once we actually have that date, I'll be doing a prediction in the lead up to that when we're closer to that date. But let me know, how did you feel about the 2023 Emmy nominations? Was there anything you really wanted to see that didn't happen? Anything that you're very happy you did see get nominated? And for more award predictions and TV reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.